Hello everyone, Professor Thompson here. I want to first off welcome you to Speech 1100 Net 06. This video will be roughly 10 minutes long, just to give you a scope for this first video. And I'm going to cover a variety of different things as we get started in this spring first 8-week internet course. But first and foremost, welcome to my class. Glad to have you. Glad to see so many people enrolled in this internet class, and several of you have already logged in and gotten started. I want to apologize for the small delay at the beginning of the term. That was totally on me. It was my error, and I didn't click a few buttons behind the scenes to get that thing up and rolling. But the shell is open, all the content is there. Several of you have gotten started. Many of you have completed the first 3 assignments in Unit 1, but definitely time to get started. I think the first piece of advice I would tell you about this internet course, but really any speech internet course, is that you're going to have a ton of flexibility. You're going to be able to log in, complete work when you want to complete work, get some things done, work on some assignments. So the flexibility is going to be there. I want to caution you though, this class is not easier because it is online. In fact, I've heard from hundreds of students who have completed this course in the past to say that an internet speech course is often more difficult, whether it be the public speaking aspect, whether it be just the kind of disconnect, the asynchronous aspect with the professor. Oftentimes, an internet course of this nature can be more difficult. So realize this is not going to be easier, but you are going to have an enormous amount of flexibility. I think one of the most important pieces of advice I can give you is if you want to be successful in this course, you can't procrastinate. You can't wait till the last minute, because it's going to bite you in the rear end, okay? That's important to realize now. There's lots to do. If you've logged into Blackboard, you will notice that there are 3 units you need to complete. There are only 3 units that you need to complete. I've really chunked things into 3 categories. Those are the only due dates, are the due dates for those 3 units. So there are 30 things that you need to complete in unit number 1, and all of that needs to be done by February 9th. And then in unit 2, which is the smallest of the 3 units, you need to complete those 9 or 10 things by February 23rd. And then finally, unit 3 is a little bit larger again, and everything is due on the last day of the 8-week term, which is March 13th. But only 3 units. Each unit has 1 speech or public presentation as part of it. And the requirements for that are listed in each of those unit tabs. But you should know by reading the syllabus and looking at Blackboard, you only have 3 units that you need to do. Okay, so if you have questions about those specific units, please email me, please let me know. Don't be afraid to contact me. You do need to make sure that you've purchased the online textbook. I have a physical copy here, the Experience Communication textbook, but what will happen is oftentimes you'll purchase a code. It comes on a card. You go and you get a card from the bookstore, or if you purchase directly from the publisher. Some of you may have clicked into Unit 1, and you can publish or purchase directly from the publisher when you start unit number 1 and the first module, and you can pay that way as well. But it's an online textbook. You have to purchase it because there is these modules and assignments, and additionally all of your quizzes connected to the textbook. With each chapter you have a module, which is practice, and then you have a quiz which follows that module. So it's my philosophy for each chapter that you read the chapter, Then you practice the chapter, which is the module. So you do these online flashcards. And then after you've done the flashcards, you take the actual quiz. You get credit for completing the module. You got to do all the flashcards. The more questions you get right when you practice, the shorter amount of time those modules are. It's what we call adaptive learning technology. So if you didn't read the chapter very well before you start to practice, it might take you 25 minutes to complete the practice flashcards, the module. But if you read, I have students who finish the module in 6 or 7 minutes. Once you feel comfortable, you'll take the quiz. You'll get one opportunity to take each quiz. The quiz has very similar questions to the module, the practice questions. So if you did well on the practice modules, you'll do well on the quiz. So it's sequential for each chapter. You'll read, you'll do the practice questions, and then you'll take the quiz. Make sure that you are doing all of those components as you go through the unit. As far as your public speaking requirement, if you've looked at the syllabus, this should have caught your attention. You must give 3 speeches as part of this class. That is a state of Illinois requirement. You cannot get out of that. You must give all 3 to pass the class. Regardless of the amount of points you earn in this class, if you do not give one of the 3 speeches, you will not pass the class. And that's a state of Illinois requirement. Secondly, the state of Illinois has set 3 primary criteria that you have to adhere to as part of a fully online class. First, you must gather your own audience to speak in front of. The idea is public speaking. So you cannot sit in front of a webcam, as I'm doing right now, to deliver your message. You must gather an audience. The state of Illinois says that you, as the student, are responsible for gathering 8 or more people who are 16 years of age or older to watch your speech. So when you record your presentation, I need to be able to attest to the fact that you have 8 people in your audience. If you don't have 8 people and I can't attest to that, the speech doesn't count. You get a 0. So that's the first requirement that the state says. Must gather your own audience, and it must be 8 or more people. The second requirement is that you must give your speech in a public place, which means you cannot give your speech in your house. Do not record your speech in your living room or in your kitchen or in your man cave or whatever it is. You have to be outside of a residential area. Now, in the past, I've had students use churches, movie theaters, outdoor amphitheaters, classrooms at a college, classrooms at an elementary school, restaurants. You can think of boardrooms, conference rooms. There's tons of places. You just can't do your speech in your house. If your speech is given in your house, you have a 0 on the presentation. I want to stress this. When you turn your videos in, I will go through them quickly, and if they don't have the audience requirement and they don't have the venue requirement, it's an automatic 0. I don't even watch the speech to give you feedback because you didn't meet the requirements. The last state requirement is that you submit an unedited video, which means if you're recording using a video camera or you're recording using your phone, you can't mess with that. It has to be one continuous recording, and then you have to upload that. So make sure that you meet those 3 requirements, okay? This is the first of probably several videos that I'm going to give you over the course of the term. So if you have questions, I want to reemphasize, please contact me. Please know that I will be sending out more of these videos that give you reminders and announcements, helpful hints. The other thing too is in the Start Now tab, I have a Remind program. I really want to encourage you to set up that Remind system. I will not only post videos into Blackboard, but I will also send those out over Remind so that they go directly to your phone so that you can know when I'm putting out new announcements and stuff of that nature. So that is very, very helpful for my online students to stay connected. And also, when people have questions, my students know that they can use that Remind system to get a hold of me fairly quickly. Okay, that's about the 10-minute mark. Again, welcome to my class. I wish you the best of luck. Please don't just vanish. You know, that's something that happens a lot in an online class. If you have questions, ask. You know, that's the best thing I can do. The other thing, don't wait. I will stress this in future videos. Get your work done. Get started. Best of luck. We'll see you soon.